Now we will understand the meaning of sphere, and we will also discuss the properties of a sphere and the real world examples of sphere. We will then understand the formula for calculation of the surface area of sphere as well as the volume of the sphere. First of all, we will understand the definition of sphere. Sphere is a three-dimensional geometric object that is perfectly round and symmetrical. In this picture, you can see that it is perfectly round and it is symmetrical. The example of a sphere is basketball or tennis ball. We can visualize the three-dimensional nature of the sphere as it extends outward from the center and it fills the space in all directions. Though the sphere does not have three distinct dimensions such as length, width and height, yet it is called three-dimensional object. The distance between the center, this is the center point, and any point on the surface of the sphere, you can see that this is the outer points, these are the outer points. From this point to this point or this point to this point, the distance is the same, and this constant distance is known as radius of the sphere. This is the radius of the sphere. If we join this line to this point, this will be also known as radius of the sphere. Now the properties of a sphere. A sphere is symmetric with respect to its center. It means that any line passing through the center, suppose if a line is passing through here, it divides the sphere into two equal halves. You can see that if we cross a line through the center, it will divide this sphere into two equal halves. You can see here that this sphere has been divided into two equal halves, and any point on the surface of the sphere is equidistant from the center. A sphere has smooth, continuous surface with no edges or vertices. It means that it does not have such like pointy surface. Now the real world examples of sphere. You can see here that basketball as well as the tennis ball is the common example of a sphere. Sun and earth, though they are not a perfect sphere, their shape closely resembles a sphere. Planets like Mercury, Venus, Mars, as well as other celestial bodies such as moons, asteroids, often exhibit spherical shapes. Now we have understood what are the real world examples of sphere. Now we will understand the difference between hemisphere and sphere. A sphere is a three-dimensional geometric shape which is completely round with all the points on the surface of the sphere are at equal distance from the center. A sphere has only one face which is curved. You can see here that this face is curved. On the other hand, a hemisphere is half of a sphere. A sphere can be divided into two equal parts and each part is known as hemisphere. A hemisphere has two faces. One is this, other is this. This face is known as curved face. And this is known as flat face. The two shapes, that is the sphere as well as the hemisphere, are related to each other, but the hemisphere has a flat base whereas a sphere has no base. Now we will understand the formula for calculation of surface area of a sphere, because though we are doing the course on volume of a sphere. Here in the coming time we will discuss the questions or do the examples which will also involve the surface area of sphere. So we will also understand the surface area of sphere. The surface area of the sphere is the total area covered by its curved surface. This is the curved surface, the total area covered. This is the surface area of sphere. The formula for calculation of the surface area of the sphere is 4 pi r square, where a represents the surface area of the sphere. Pi is a mathematical constant which is equal to 22/7 or 3.14159. In this formula, we have used r square, where r stands for radius of the sphere, which is the distance from its center to any point on the surface of the sphere. Now, volume of sphere. What is the meaning of volume of sphere? Volume of a sphere refers to the amount of space occupied by the sphere in three-dimensional space. In other words, this space which is occupied by the sphere is known as volume. It is a measure of the total quality or internal content of the sphere. In simple terms, we can say that volume of the surface, volume of the sphere tells us how much material or substance can fit inside the sphere. In other words, we can take the example that suppose there is a basketball. We make some small hole in it and put water in it, and we will then the volume will tell us how much amount of water will be there in the sphere shaped basketball. The volume of sphere. The formula for calculation of volume of sphere is 4/3 pi r cube, where V represents the volume of the sphere. Pi is a mathematical constant which is approximately equal to 3.14159, and r stands for radius of the sphere. We have given this formula here also. Now the question before us is, find the volume of a sphere whose radius is 7 centimeter. In this picture you can see here that this is a sphere and the radius has been given as 7 centimeter. We will do answer, solve this question. Radius given is 7 centimeter. Now the volume of sphere is equal to 4/3 pi r cube. So we will fill in the relevant values. 4/3 pi stands for 22/7. Now what is the value of r? It is 7. So we will write this here. R cube has been given. So we will write 7 3 times. So here we will cut 7 with 7. Now what is left is we will multiply 49 with 88. So here it will come 4312 divided by 3. So the answer before us is 1437.33 cubic centimeter. This is the answer of volume of sphere. Next is find the volume of a sphere whose radius is 0.63 meter. So now what is given is radius is equal to 0.63 meter. Now what is the formula for calculation of volume of sphere? It is 4/3 pi r cube. 4/3 pi stands for 22/7. Now r is in cube, so we will write r 3 times. Value of r has been written 3 times. So 63/100, 63/100, 63/100. And when we solve all this, we will get 1.0478 or 1.05 cubic meter. This is the volume of sphere whose radius is 0.63 meter. Now the question before us is find the amount of water displaced by a solid spherical ball of diameter 28 centimeter. You can see here that this is a spherical ball and it has diameter of 28 centimeter. The question says that suppose there is water and we put this spherical ball into the water. Now the question is that if we put this spherical ball into water, how much amount of water will be displaced by this spherical ball? So now what is given to us is we have been given diameter. Diameter is equal to 28 centimeter. You can see here that this is diameter. From this, we know that from the center, this is known as radius. And this point and the distance between central point and any point on the surface of the sphere is equal. So this is also r, and from this point to this point, this is also r. In other words, d is equal to 2r, or we can say that radius is half of diameter. You can see in this picture also that radius is half of diameter. So what is the radius which comes out? It is 14 centimeter. Now what we have to calculate? We have to calculate amount of water displaced. When we put this spherical ball into water, then the amount of water displaced will be equal to the volume of spherical ball. Now what is the formula for calculation of volume of spherical ball? It is 4/3 pi r cube. Now we will put in the relevant values. 4/3, the value of pi is 22/7. Now what is the value of r? It is 14. As here it is written as r cube, so we will write the value of r 3 times. So what will come out? It will come out as 3496/3 is equal to 11 498.66 cubic centimeter. Now this is the amount of water displaced and this is the answer before you. Thanks for watching. If you like our course, please spare some time to give a star rating to our course.